Guys, I'm Jamie's Tech, and this is my review of a to-do app called Things. There's a desktop client, which you can see right here, and a iPhone client, which you can see right here. I'm running VNC for my iPhone, so there's a little bit of a lag, but it still works. So Things segregates your to-dos into a bunch of different sections. You've got your inbox, which look at to-dos that you put in on the go and you don't know what to do with right away. Today is all the things you want to get accomplished today. So I'm obviously not going to get all of this. I'm not going to get my GPS phone review accomplished today. But if you're watching this, I've already accomplished things for Mac, so you can just check that off on the desktop client. When I next sync my to-dos, which I'll show you in a second, it will also show up on the iPhone. The next is next, and it'll show you both your today to-dos you want to get done today and things you want to do next. And then there's scheduled, which are things you know you have to do in the future. Someday, which are things you want to get around to someday but are not the priority right now. Then they have projects, and you can, if you're working on something, you can make a project and put to-dos in those projects. So if you look, I have two projects running right now, YouTube and blog. So if you go into YouTube, you can see the two things are things for Mac and iPhone review and the GPS phone review, which I'll do later. If you look at the blog, the only two there is get on Techno Buffalo, which is a site I want to get into. And so if we go back to today, the biggest feature about this to-do client is it syncs seamlessly between each of the devices. So what happens is you need to connect both of the devices to the same Wi-Fi network, and then have both the applications open. You see, if I open Things, it'll open up and it'll sync, and then you see we just ticked off the things for Mac and iPhone, and it's now listed as done. If we create a thing, and let's call it blank to do, done, and we can save it. Then we have blank to do, and next time we open Things, it'll sync. Oh, and you see on our computer we have blank to do, and one item has moved to the logbook, which basically means it's complete. So there you go. That's the greatest thing I find about these clients, is they sync well with each other, so you can have your to-dos on the go and your to-dos on your computer when you're working on your computer. So I'm just going to delete that. And another feature is the tag bar. I only have one to-do left, so you'll see all the tags that I've listed for that to-do, which is alone time. I obviously don't want other people in the room when I'm recording a video, how long I think it's going to take, and the level of difficulty I think it'll do. And so those are tags. Now if we make another to-do, like let's say we'll make one new to-do, blog post on things, and tag it. We'll tag it as, it'll probably take 15 minutes. I can do it anytime, and it's easy. So we can tag it as that. And now, if you're sitting wondering what you can do to capitalize on your alone time, you can go up to the top, and there's tags, and you can just click the the tags that you want to easily separate all your to-dos, so you don't have to look at all of them at once and process all that information. Makes things a lot easier. And so we already. And then another great thing about this is if you want to have something next, but you want to do it sometime in the future, but don't want to forget about it. Like, let's say I want to do a how to winter board video, but I don't want to have to look at it until September 1st. So I'll put the due date as September 1st, and I'll show in today on date. So it'll come into my today field on September 1st when I will then do the video. So that's one of the great things about this is you can set due dates. You can also set repeating tasks. You can repeat them daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. And that works very well. And lastly, you've got more organization in the way of different areas of responsibility. So I have my personal, the internet, which is the YouTube and the blog, and school when that gets started again in September. And that's pretty much a rundown of how things for iPhone and Mac work. If you really need a to-do client that'll really do everything but isn't too overkill on the how in-depth it goes, like stuff like OmniFocus, which I find just has so many features, it's hard to get at what you really need. I think the combination between these two are very good. So if you can afford to spend the money on these two clients, I think it's well worth the money.